Hey guys, in this video I want to kind of go over what I think is probably one of the most underutilized or least efficient pose that I see a lot of practitioners do while they're practicing. It's Ardha Uttanasana, so half forward fold or halfway lift as you want to call it. A lot of times what I see is people just either half-assing it or just not doing it fully to where they could fully benefit from it. So what I want to see is I want to have Bonnie come into it. She's going to kind of just work through a couple different things that I see mostly, right? So a lot of times what I see is, so just come into your forward fold just to start. And as they inhale to halfway lift, a lot of times you just see a rounding of the back and a curl. The problem with this is there's not a lot of back activation. Another problem with this is we do enough forward folding anyways. So right now she's forward folding, she's not halfway lifting. The next one I see is seeing people will put their fingertips onto their mat and they'll think they're straightening their spine by reaching it forward. They are, right? But this isn't halfway. And she's most likely just feeling the sensation in her upper back right here, right? The low back is lengthened, but it's not activating. So bring your fingertips just below your kneecaps, and she's not jamming your shins back with her fingers. And now she's gonna reach her heart forward. Now her low back, mid back, upper back is all firing with the same amount of intensity, building strength all along the spine, right? So without coming down, so if she brings her fingertips back to the mat, so bring your fingertips and stretch the spine, right? Without coming up at least halfway, she's not activating all the muscles. And then you can go ahead and come down onto your shins. And the problem with it, and the reason why I say it's underutilized or it's not, it can be a lot more efficient, or why in my classes I stress the hell out of this pose, is thinking about a sun A, right? It's 5 forward folds to 1 back bend, maybe 2 if you use this sort of halfway lift variation. So if you're rounding forward, if you're bringing your fingertips down and you're just kind of lengthening and just getting into the upper back, right, you are not decreasing that ratio of forward folds. And we forward fold all day looking at our phones. We forward fold all day sitting in our chair. That's kind of an exaggerated seat. But we sit in our seats, we drive all the time, we sit on the couch and watch TV. We don't do a whole lot of this throughout our day, except for when we're either working out or doing yoga or wherever. But when we come into yoga, if we just continue to forward fold all the time, and that ratio stays at 1 to 5, or it doesn't get any better, or gets worse, right? We are not creating a balanced body. The front is getting all the work, the back is just lengthening out with no strength. So when we come into a halfway lift, as she comes back to it, right, fingertips to the shins, heart reaching forward, but the back muscles are reaching. So we're strengthening the posterior chain or the back body in this pose. Any lower, and she's not strengthening the entire region. And then 2, it's also called halfway lift, right? The actual pose is called half forward fold or Ardha Uttanasana half lift. And I don't know about you, but if I asked just a stranger walking down the street, so stand up, walking down the street and said, show me where halfway is for your body. Show me where your halfway point is. Most people are going to go right here to their hips. They're not going to go, oh, my halfway lift, if I'm going to be halfway, I'm going to come here, right? But here, at least, some of us here. Now, I understand there's different proportions. Bonnie has really long legs. I'm cut in half. There's some people with really short legs and a really long trunk. Halfway lift, at least a little bit higher than the shoulders, reach the heart forward, activate the posterior chain. I think if you do this and make it consistent and don't just fly through it, what you see a lot too is people just come into it and they're just like, okay, exhale, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold, come up. Right? If we just blow through things, this isn't just a transition. We're not just transitioning to half lift and through it. It's an actual posture. And we want to find our seat or our asana in Ardha Uttanasana. So we're here. At least shoulders in line with the hips, heart forward, so we get the entire back working and strengthening. It's just a small little micro change to your practice that can make a big difference, right? And so I even see a lot of teachers, they think flat back, so they just come here. But let's make it a little bit more efficient and come here so we get the lumbar spine, the lower back, mid back firing, and not just the upper back. Okay? Try it out. Namaste.